Welcome to the very first Pick Six live show. $50,000 is going to be awarded from Sportsbook Review over the next few months. We are here to toast the winners and roast the losers and break down NFL and NCAA football games. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Let's take a look at who we have in the chat for this big show. John Garcia saying Miss Cowboy looks like a man. We're going to have to talk about these beautiful women. Now, I saw them in person. We need to find out who you think is the most beautiful of the six women, because we're going to bring one of them back for a little interview. Little one-on-one interview. Let's pop up those women one more time. But the first thing is John Garcia saying Miss Cowboy looks like a man. Can we get those women up one more time for us? No, Miss Cowboy. Miss Cowboy's fine, man. Miss Cowboy's fine. We are going to be discussing which one of these very sweet, kind,
we're going to move over here to the Sbr.
Is the sexiest. But Shell Dog agrees with John Garcia. Man, I'm telling you, Miss Cowboy in person, fine. She's fine. All right? And you know me. You know how I handle things. I look for knuckles. She's fine. And she's a woman. Shout out to Gabriel Hernandez, says, loving the under in the Giants-Cowboys game. Only one game out of the last four between them has gone over 45.5. I'm with you, Gabriel Hernandez. I'm with you. I'm with that under. There's three unders I like, but traditionally I do very bad week one with totals, and I'm nervous to take them. We got not applicable in the house, not applicable Jello. We got Viper MB says, Jimmy, who are all these hotties in this picture? They were in the commercial with me, and to celebrate this 50K contest, we do want to know who you find is the most attractive of them all. There's Natalie joining us in the house. We got Shun Childress ready to go. Deer Slayer Ski says Seahawks all day. Seahawks all day. Federico says, we need to give you another hat. You mean the green underneath? Oh my God. We need to give you another hat. Really? Okay. So I need another hat in here? Maybe? What if I just keep my head down like that? Green in my hat? It's a 49ers hat. There's no green in my hat. Okay. Sorry. We're working this out. Who Bang and Sports Talk says 50K, let's get it. Deer Slayer Ski says second from the last one for me. Donald Pickle says, I told Jimmy never to drink till 3 a.m. or you'll piss till noon. Yes, he did say that. Melvin Batantis ranking the girls. Eagles, Packers, Chiefs, 1, 2, 3. Viper MB says, Jimmy, put one of those girls on. That's what we're going to do. Bobby Lee Swagger says, what a shirt. Love it. Thank you, Bobby Lee Swagger. They say that us Canucks, us Canuckleheads, us Canadians shouldn't be talking NFL football. But we're going to change that because I think a Canadian can win this contest. We have EJV King Art. Prince of the City says, Miss Green Bay has great eyes. Miss Green Bay has great eyes. Michael Fogg says, number 2 from the right, minus 330. Bobby's Lady Swag says, can we get these pretty ladies to do the show? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. King Art says, the black chick. Yes, she was very, very attractive as well. We are going to talk about all this. Sbr Forum says, you are fine, Jimmy. And King Art says, where's the black chicks, Jim? The black chicks are generally on the other coast here. We got the Pacific coast, the Caribbean coast. But you're right. We need more beautiful black women, and I will make sure that happens for us, King Art. All right. This is how we're going to do things. When we come to the show, we're going to talk about who won, because we're giving out $1,600 each week. We're going to talk about who won that cash. That's the first thing we're going to do. Who won the cash? Who are the top 6 winners? Then we're going to talk about the top 10 leaderboard in the big $50,000 contest. Then we're going to talk about Teddy Covers, Donnie Rightside, Big Ragu, DJ Big Boss, myself, Drew Martin, Babano. Where are the SBR guys? How are they faring in the contest? That'll be the next thing we talk about. Then we're going to talk about which team completed a pick 6. That is a big thing. For 600 bet points, what we have is if you have a 2-unit play, your best bet play, if that team completes a pick 6, an interception returned for a touchdown, then you will win 600 bet points. That is the first 4 things we are going to do on the show. So, $50,000 ready to be handed out. $50,000. King Art says Black Queens, excuse me. Yes, thank you, King Art. Yes, Black Queens. Brandon Lugo says, what up, everybody? New show, I'm in. Bob Swagger says, Canadian Cappers unite. Dick Toll says, I prefer good-looking women. Oh, man, okay. All right, then Dick Tolls is bounced. All right, that's all we get from Dick Tolls. Robert Gilmore, cash. EJV says, Jimmy, for the contest, once you made a pick, you can't change it. That is right. Jared Schrader says, Jimmy, I appreciate your hustle and how much you do for SBR along with us in the chat. Glad to have NFL back. There's Robbie Tagaloa, the Samoan Thunder in the house. Thank you guys for joining us. Gabriel Hernandez says, can we still sign up, Jimmy? The answer is yes, you can still sign up. And here it is. Here is the link to the contest right now. Going to contests here at sportsbookreview.com, the $50,000 Pick 6 contest. And I only have one play in. But it is my 2-unit play. We're going to talk about all that. Sign up now. All right. There we go. And there we go. And we are in business. Okay. Let's get to work. So this is how things are going to work out. In 34 minutes, we're going to be joined by DJ Big Boss and Big Ragu to talk NCAA football. With me, we're going to talk NFL football. And we're going to talk about how this contest works. If you are an Sbr Pro, you get all the cash. If you're not an Sbr Pro, you only get half of the money. So let's talk quickly about being an Sbr Pro. First off, to become an Sbr Pro, if you are in the U.S. and have never been a pro before, you have to make a $100 charitable donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation through the Sbr Pro application. Oh, sorry. Here we go. I didn't. There's the link for the contest. Yes, Gabriel, sign up. Okay. And you log in, participate in the SBR forum. Membership pays for itself over the course of the year. If you are in the U.S. and are renewing your membership, it takes 3,000 bet points or a $100 charitable donation. If you are outside the U.S. and have never been an SBR Pro before, you must open a new account with a sportsbook through a sponsor link and make a minimum deposit. That's through our site. If you are outside of the U.S. and have been a pro before, you can go to Pro Renew with a minimum deposit to your book of choice, provided the account was created through a sponsor link. If the account is active and funded, no action is necessary. However, SBR reserves the right to verify a user's eligibility. What do you get for being an SBR Pro? This is what you get. SBR Pro membership pays for itself over the course of the year. Simply by becoming an SBR Pro, you unlock a whole new aspect of SBR offerings. You earn double the bet points. Bet points. Also, look around the forum. See all of the people taking advantage of our amazing offerings by being an SBR Pro. You too should be in the SBR Pro community. Also, free poker events 3 to 4 times a year. Play for free and win cash. Also, SBR Store merchandise. Use your hard-earned bet points and buy cool things in our updated SBR Store and attend SBR live events. We have SBR bashes in Vegas, Punta Cana, Costa Rica. We are always growing our community. Kevin Garrett says, what about a degenerate? Degenerates are welcome. Sharps are welcome. Fish are welcome. We are all welcome. But here on this show, we need to find winners. Avi Gold said, where did the busty girls go? We will talk about those busty girls. We will talk about them often. In fact, we will talk about them maybe right now. But first, we need to talk football. There's Cash Woods in the house. And, okay, the infomercial. Sorry, not applicable. We're going to get back to the capping right now. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get back to the capping right now. I just had to talk about being an SBR Pro. Had to talk about that. Let's get into how we are going to attack this card. And I know what I'm going to do. First, I don't know how many of you guys use our SBR odds page, but it's very, very important. It's very, very useful. There's Kyle Hamburg in the house. Love seeing Kyle Hamburg. Okay, let's take a look at the SBR page right now. Let's move on to it right this very second. Rafa, let's show them a little peek at the SBR page on the screen. Can you lock that down for me? Rafa, can you lock that down for me?
We're going to move over here to the SBR odds page. Type in SBRodds.com.
There it is. That's how we get on the SBR page. Let's talk about Packers
NFL.
Bears.
I'd like
Let's
to
talk
focus
about
solely
Packers
on NFL,
Bears.
as this is the Pick 6
Bears
show.
Are
also, I'm going to change my settings.
Across the board right now. It started at -4. They're now at -3. Also, take a look at that total. I'm going to pop up my contest page as well. Get the SBR odds page up here. Did we showed that whole video? No, we didn't. Oh, okay. Let's do it again. Sorry, I kept talking. All right, let's drop it again. Let's drop it again without me talking. Okay, let's do it again right now. Rafa, drop it like it's hot.
All right, we're going to move over here to the SBR odds page. Type in sbrodds.com, and up it comes. We're going to move over to NFL. I'd like to focus solely on NFL, as this is the Pick 6 show. Also, I'm going to change my settings. I'd like my opener to be Bet Online. I respect that they're first to the market, so let's lock that in. And then let's take a look at what we're dealing with. But let's go to spreads and totals. I'd like to have spreads and totals. As you can see, first half, second half, first quarter, they're all right here. But I'm going to go full game. Open the Bears at -4. Now it's -3 across the board. The total opened at 45.5. Now we see 46.5s everywhere. But if you are over shopping, you would shop right here at BetOnline that has the over at 46. No hook there on BetOnline. And then we're going to go to head-to-head. Get a little look at head-to-head. All these statistics will be filled in. Team records, current season performance, recent results, turnovers, penalties, special teams, past matchups. And then you see on the right the best odds where I can find them. And betting consensus, weather right here. And then the most important thing for me on the odds page is always line history. And this is going to be pinnacles, but we can move over to Bet Online's. This is what I look at all the time. I need to know where things started. So as you can see here at Bet Online, the Bears opened up -175 on the money line. They're now at -164, which means there's been an 11-cent move towards these Green Bay Packers. That's the SBR odds page right here at sportsbookreview.com.
The SBR odds page that I am on all day. Let's get to work right now on this NFL card. We have about 28 minutes before we're joined for NCAA football right now. And we've already seen our guy King Art on Kansas State -23.5, my first pick. I like that spot. We had our guy Teddy Covers break that look down, and I like it. It makes sense to me. I think we can cash that. SBR Forum, loving the under tomorrow night on Thursday Night Football. Okay, basically what I have is I have you, the chat, for 27 minutes. Avi Gold says, Jimmy sounds very different here. Maybe he got some sleep. He sounds very calm. Okay, Avi Gold, let's get to work. And no need to be calm right now. Let's talk Packers at Bears. A lot of people liking the Bears -3. We have Mohammed Joma on the chat who likes the Packers money line. He's going for a score with the Packers. When I look at this game, I tell you what I don't want. I don't want to start this season off with a loser. And I know that Thursday night games are much more difficult when a team is on short rest and short preparation. This is not one of those situations. All right. Fight Brand B's on Bears -3. Donnie Rightside's on Bears -3. Teddy Covers is on Bears -3. So should we just back the Bears -3? I don't know. Aaron Rodgers steps up when he plays these Bears. But do you want to back the Bears? Mohamed Joma's backing the Bears with a new offensive coordinator and a new head coach. Rodgers has been hurt 2 years in a row. What do we expect from him? Do you guys believe in Jimmy Graham? I don't. Devontae Adams is the number 1 receiver, but if you double him, who else gets open? Does anybody? Aaron Jones is unproven. This is a strong offensive line. SBR Forum says the Bears, but me, no. Vatvis says, I just signed up, Jimmy. What do I do now? Now you pick winners. And I'm hesitant to take the Bears -3, but I tell you what, if Donnie Rightside and Teddy Covers are both on the Bears -3, why don't we take it too? Barry Block says, I took the Bears -3 on Sunday. Rich G says, Ragu is on the pack. Big Ragu on the pack. Mohamed Joma on the pack. I do not want to start my contest off with a loser. Do we want to back an under here in this game? There's been a lot of talk about unders in the Bears defense. Even that is something I don't want to do. But I do like unders early in the season. But then I like early unders because we know that the defense comes in a little tidier than the offense. But what I don't like is totals in the week 1 or 2. I always seem to struggle with them. So Sean Childress says I'm staying away, and I think that is what I'm going to do. There is the Sports Keg in the house. The Sports Keg will be joining me on Betting with the Bag. Excellent NFL capper right there. The Sports Keg. Great to see you, Sports Keg. King Art says, is the Bears offensive coordinator a passing or rushing-minded coach? You know, let's take a look at the Bears offensive coordinator right now. Let's take a look at him right now. Helfrich. I'm going to have to study Helfrich a little more. We know what he did in college as with Oregon, but let's see what we hear from him. So he was the offensive coordinator of the Ducks from 2009 to 2012, moved into the head coaching spot after Chip Kelly left. You know what? See, the NCAA football section of this show is something where I just don't feel like I have the expertise to drop that kind of info. Let's ask Teddy Covers about it tomorrow night. Let's ask DJ Big Boss about Helfrich when he comes onto the show, as well as Big Ragu. Let's ask these guys. Robbie Tagalo says, divisional game to start the season. The movement is the public on the Rogers train. They remember last year's Week 1 game. Anyone have a weather report for Thursday? Yes. Let's pull it out right now. The Chicago weather report. You can find that on the SBR odds page. You go right to head. And this is what we're looking at. Game details. 67 Fahrenheit. Precipitation probable. 63%. And windy. As we know, it is the windy city. There's going to be 19 miles of wind. Batfist says you're blending into the background. Don't blink. I just got to keep the green off of the screen. All right. Big Boss will let us know what he thinks about Helfrich. He's watching the show right now. Packers, Bears, I don't want to make a move. Let's move on to the Sunday games, and let's be quick because we have a lot of work to do before we're joined by none other than the sauce and the boss. Let's talk Falcons, Vikings. Vikings open at 47.5. The total's moved up to 48. We already know that Donnie Rightside is extremely interested in this over. The Vikings open up at 4, and then there's 3.5s now on the board. Wow. Damn it. I missed my chance. at the 4. The 4s are gone. You know what? I was not going to take the Falcons in the contest, so I don't need to get too upset about it. I'm not going to take the Falcons. I don't need to get too upset about it. But man, that 4 was much better looking than that 3.5. But there's not too big of a difference between the 4 and the 3.5. That Fist says someone needs to help me with this when they have a chance. How do I make my picks? I can help you with this, Fat Fist. This is week 1. We are going through the kinks. You go to the contest page. You go to the $50,000 Pick 6 football contest. And then you go over to Make Picks right beside the main button. Pretty self-explanatory, Fat Fist. You go over to Make Picks. You click the box of what you like. It's spreads and totals only. Spreads and totals only, Mr. Fat Fist. There we go. SBR Forum coming in to help as well. SBR Forum coming in to help as well. SBR Forum says, how to play Pick 6 football contest. You need 6 plays each week. NCAA and NFL plays with 1 2-unit bet. The other 5 plays are graded as 1 unit. Noseguard says, Kubiak zone block scheme, great for Dalvin. Also open up the run action to get Diggs and Thielen the rock. I tell you what, watching Diggs and Thielen last year, I find it, and maybe this is a complete wrong take, but I find it difficult to believe that especially Thielen is going to be the best receiver in the NFL year after year. I think that if Dalvin Cook is healthy, he's going to run amok. He's going to go crazy. Dalvin Cook, a healthy Dalvin Cook is a difference maker. Robbie Tagaloa says, Vikings seem to cover at home as faves. Juan Ruiz in the house. That just made my picks on both contests. Let's get that cash. I am making Atlanta future bets. And I'm going to make them before the Vikings game. We talked on the Audible about whether or not we should wait. Because we'll get a better number if the Vikings win game 1. I tell you what, if the Falcons surprised everybody and won this game, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be that shocked. Now, sure, the Vikings are likely to win the game. They were 4-point favorites, now 3.5-point favorites. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Falcons take care of business here. We know that the Anthony Barr coming back for the Vikings, he's an absolute monster. We know that this secondary was supposed to be spectacular last year, and it wasn't. Is this secondary being overlooked? This Vikings defense can be so good that you may not want to take the over. But I do think points are going to be scored. I have a big question mark around this over. I don't know if this over is going to be on my card. Let's go to Redskins Eagles. This is a play I want to make. And this is a play I want to make soon. Let's look at market moves. There's 10 across the board. I think that's too much for a week 1 divisional game, but I'm not going to jump on it. There's Jomo Kenyatta says, what happened to Peter Loshak? Peter Loshak has not been on our show for about 3 or 4 months now. Jomo Kenyatta. And we miss him. We miss him dearly. Great man, great capper, but he's not been here for about 4 months. He's up in the Bronx right now, and wherever he is, we send him our love, and we miss him very much. Not applicable on the Browns, Minnesota, KC, Seattle, New Orleans, and the Chargers. Jason Kelly says, damn, Jimmy, putting his head down and grinding, always working for us. Much respect. Jason Kelly, I need to give winners out. I've been on a bad run in baseball, and it irritates me that I'm not delivering the goods to a level that I want. And thank God, NFL and NCAA football here. NCAA is looking good so far, 7-4 to start the year. But I need a big season in NFL. I expect a big season in NFL. There's Robbie Tagaloa said Washington, Philadelphia under. That's the look I want to make. I am a little uncomfortable taking totals week 1, but I want to do it, and I want to get in on it soon. Open at 46. It's now at 45. I could have got 45.5 earlier today. I could have got 40. Oh, no, that's not true. Yes, it is true. I could have got 45.5 earlier today. It's already moved down to 45. This is a move that has to be made. This is a move that has to be made, and I think I will be making it here on the show. Obviously, not having Trent Williams is a huge loss, but I don't see this Eagles offense firing on all cylinders right out of the week 1, and Keenum is not going to light up this Eagles defense. I'm going to make a move on this under as soon as possible. Jomo Kenyatta, my man, let's get to work. JP says, love Lions and Ravens. Ravens are already my 2-unit play, but I got them at 4.5 on betting with the bag. I had to settle for 6.5 when the contest started, but I did jump on that. Jason Kelly says, everyone gets cold, keep grinding. Thank you, Jason Kelly. It means a lot to me. And I just want everybody who rolls with me, I just want their pockets to get swole. I want their pockets to get bigger. I just don't want to hurt anybody in the bank account. It means very, very, very much to me. But thank you, Jason Kelly, my guy. Okay. Let's keep rolling. I'm going to make a move on this Redskins Eagles under, and I think I need to make it on this show. I think that's going to be one of my top 6 picks. Let's move on to Bills Jets. Bills Jets, I think this is a sharp line. This is a very important game for both these teams. If I had a free play, I would probably take the Jets up -3. But I'm high on the Bills. I'm on that 6.5 over. Not applicable says, inquiring minds need to know, how many free Mando washes did DJ give with his cars? That's a very interesting question, not applicable. That will come up. Robbie Tagaloa says, Washington defense is underrated. Washington has no offense. The points will be hard to come from Philly. I like that. Gerardo Hernandez says, I'm not a pro member. I don't have or use Bitcoin. Would love to play pick 6. That's okay. Jump on. Jump in pick 6. Look, if you cash week 1 or week 2 and you only get half of the money, maybe you'll say, look, I need to be a pro. So just jump into contest. And Bitcoin is very easy. Open up a Bitcoin wallet. We had 2 of our low baggers win $250 each in the Beat the Bag Saratoga contest. And they opened up Bitcoin. They opened up their Bitcoin wallet. It was very, very, very easy. Robbie Tagaloa on the Bills money line. I'm big. Oh, look, Ski Prophet found his password. I love it. OG Wham says Hawaii is my best pick. Wow, Trot Wham taking Hawaii. Jomo Kenyatta says, can't wait for NFL season starting tomorrow. I'm so excited about it too. I am staying off this Bills-Jets game. This was another look that I almost made on the over because I thought that the total was too low. This total opened at 41, but it went down. This total went to 38.5 at Pinnacle. So it was Bet Online that opened this up. Bet Online opened this up at 41, which is shocking to me because I saw it at 38.5. I was like, man, we've got to take the over. DJ Big Boss backing the Trot Wham play of Hawaii. We're going to be talking college football very soon. I'm off Bills Jets, but I'm on the season win total over 6.5. That's what I want. Let's move on to Ravens Dolphins. Dolphins are a mess. I made this my 2-unit play. Surely I like it more at 4.5 than at the 6.5 I got on the show. But if you're looking to grab them right now, it's 7. 6.5 still a Bet Online. 6.5 still a Heritage. If you want to take the Ravens at 6.5, got to get them now. You have to take them now. I also think that the Dolphins have a strong secondary. Robert Gilmore says Eagles roll big on Sunday. Sure, but that's a huge spread that I don't want to have anything to do with. And I'm going to have Eagles futures locked in. I'm going to have Eagles futures locked in within 24 hours before Thursday starts. There's my guy, Nut Flush Allen, saying dope hat. It was a gift from my guy, Nut Flush Allen. Shout out to you, Nut Flush. Much love to you. My guy, Joe Kenyatta says, Jimmy, eat that bet box and share no tell. Cash them USD tickets. Man, you can get much better lines. Line shopping at sportsbookreview.com than we can at that bet box. When I first came down to Costa Rica, I started hammering that bet box, but 30 and 40 cent games, come on. Not good enough. Robbie Tagaloa says Baltimore, Miami under. I do like that look. You know what? Let's take another peek at what that total is. Baltimore, Miami under. It's just too low. 38.5. It is possible. So if you look at how the Dolphins are going to defend, they're going to defend with a strong secondary. What do the Ravens have? The Ravens have a strong running game and Lamar Jackson getting out of the pocket and using his legs. Having a strong secondary is not the right defense for this Ravens squad. It doesn't scare me. Jeff Joseph says, as a Jets fan, this game scares me. Bills are coming to play. I agree with that. Robbie Tagaloa, Baltimore, Miami under. If I had a free play, I'd make it, but that's too low of a total for me in week 1, and I'm going to stay off of it. Let's talk about a very important game, Chiefs-Jaguars. I find the Chiefs more appealing every second. Bobby Lee Swagger says, what's in the glass? Jimmy, I put a little Coke in there, but I also am sponsored by our good friends at Jameson, and it's a green bottle, so I won't pull it up, but I'll just give you a little hint. Just a little hint. There we go. It's green, though. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get back to work. Non-applicable says Chiefs. My guy, Jomo Kenyatta says, I like SBR. Excellent research for sports betting. Thank you. Drinking Hand says, the B show, the bag, the boss, the booze, and the big ragu. It's the B show. I love that. Robert Gilmore said, that is a great play. I'm on the under. Robert Gilmore, my guy. Robert Gilmore in the house taking that under. Let's talk Chiefs-Jaguars. I'm getting higher and higher and higher on the Chiefs every second. Tyreek Hill, uncoverable. McCall Hardman, very good. We know Kelsey's one of the best tight ends in the league. Damian Williams can do the job. We know the running back's interchangeable in the Andy Reid offense. I like the Chiefs early. I am going to make a bet on the Chiefs first half, but do I want to have road favorites on my card week 1? The answer is no. Look at Muhammad Joma on Jags plus 3.5. I think the Jags can be in this game. The question is the total. This total's going down. I'm interested in both these plays, but this total keeps dropping. Actually, it's not dropping that much because it opened at BetOnline at 51.5. What did it open at? It opened at 52.5 at Pinnacle. So I use BetOnline as my opener, but Drinking Hand said Chiefs all day easy. I don't know how easy it's going to be week 1 on the road, but I am going to take the Chiefs first half. Definitely taking the Chiefs first half. Jags defense on paper is still very strong. Look at their top guys, Allen, Campbell, Jack, but I don't think Leonard Fournette cares. Trot Wham says KC. Nutflush Allen says team total over in KC. Robbie Tagaloa says stay away game. Viper MB says lean Chiefs, but this game is a tricky one. I'm going to pass on it. So I don't know if the Chiefs look is going to be on, but I am going to take this under Redskins Eagles. I'm going to put that on my contest picks very, very soon. Prince of the City says, what's the Chiefs team total? This Chiefs team total. Let me grab that right now. I'm going to look at Heritage right now. Let's look at Heritage. But usually I would give you the Bet 365 team total. The team total for the Kansas City Chiefs is 27.5 at minus 110. Muhammad Joma says Kansas City defense is so bad, I'll be fading them a lot this year. Beastly DD624 says Tyreek Hill's unstoppable. I agree. Okay. Said the commissioner couldn't suspend him. The Kansas City Police Department couldn't find enough evidence, and Oklahoma State couldn't suspend him. Okay, I thought you were talking about his offense. Okay. Mohamed Jones says last year is going to repeat itself offensively for the Chiefs either. I think it will. Fat Fist MMA just made his first pick. Fat Fist, what is your first pick? Please let us know what your first pick is. I'm very interested to hear what your first pick is. Not applicable says Chiefs can give up 40 but score 50. That's why this over is appealing to me. But it's going to be humid in Jacksonville. Let's take a look at Sportsbook Review odds. Let's see what the weather is here head to head. Let's hear what the weather is. Here we go. The weather. 100 Fahrenheit for this game. God. I do not want to take an over in a 100 Fahrenheit game week 1. I do not want to do it. I don't think I'm going to do it. Let's move on to Titans-Browns. Browns are under a lot of pressure. Most hyped team in the offseason. We need to see what Freddie Kitchen can do. I want to see it first. Can Delaney Walker from the Titans come back from his back injury? Was it a back? It wasn't even a back injury, was it? But it was a nasty injury that Delaney Walker had. We've been waiting a long time for Corey Davis. Maybe the Corey Davis time doesn't even come. Maybe it never comes. Oh, and look at Fast Fist. Patriots -5.5. Oh, my guy, Joel Kenyatta says, Jimmy, how's Spidey doing up in Costa Rica? Spidey's doing great. Got a bigger enclosure. Got a female friend, female spider monkey that hangs out with him. There's no sexual stuff with them. They're just, she's younger than Spidey, and Spidey's like fatherly towards her, but he seems much, much happier in a bigger enclosure. Okay, let's keep rolling. Mama Joe said the year. Maybe he won't score 15 TDs again. Ron Crawford says, new show. That's right, Ron Crawford. Every Wednesday night, I will be joined by the boss and the sauce. And we're going to talk NFL and NCAA football. Big Roo says, I'm eating burnt pretzels and drinking vodka. Respect. I'm so excited about hanging with Ragu and Big Boss. They'll be joining me in 9 minutes. Okay, so let's keep going. Titans, Browns. Look, if I had a free play, I would take the Titans. I would back the Titans here with the points. I need the Browns to prove it. Maybe they do prove it. But there's 5.5s are going. You can still get a 6 at Bovada or a 5 at Pinnacle. This total's at 45.5, and Flash is on the under. Flash is on the under, which is surprising. Brandon Lugo says, at this point, I know it's early, but I don't see any weather concerns for Sunday's slate unless you consider standard seasonal heat. Rich G says, Browns going 16-0. Sean Childress on Colts +6.5. I'm close to making that move. Kevin Garrett's in the house. Ooh, Kevin Garrett's giving us his plays. Tennessee Volunteers, Florida Atlantic, Kentucky, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, Denver. Ooh, I like it. Ron Crawford, Atlanta +4, Pittsburgh +5, Baltimore -6. Oh, I like it. These are good-looking spots. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste all of these. Bob Lee Swagger just said, just cracked the cold one. Oh, man, this is going to be fun. I'm going to be very excited about this. Robbie Tagaloa also on the under. Okay, well, that's going to make Flash happy. Flash will be making his debut on Betting with the Bag live. Flash from the Odds Market will be making his debut live tomorrow on our late show. All right, so let's keep rolling. Jeff Joseph says, my best under on the card is Denver-Oakland. All the stats trends say under. I like that. I like that. All right, let's keep moving. Ravens-Dolphins. You know I'm on the Ravens for my 2-unit play. It's the only play I've locked in right now. The Chiefs-Jaguars. You know what? I hear what you're saying, Brandon Lugo, about the weather, but 100 degrees over, it just scares me. Bob Lee Swagger says, Jimmy, what do you think about the Giants +7? Think they surprised some people this year? Maybe. But I don't want to touch them week 1. And I don't want to touch them against that Cowboys defense. I think we're going to go with the under there. Shell Dog says Colts +6.5 ago. I agree. Lance Rose says chat full of nuggets. No doubt. And Nutflush Allen says, Jimmy, stop doing more shows. I can't get anything done at all. Much love to you, Nutflush Allen. And having you on my side just means the world to me. Let's talk Rams-Panthers. I think Rams take a big step back this year. Did any of you guys trust Todd Gurley's knee? We saw what happened when Cooper Kupp was out of the lineup, and then we add Todd Gurley, and they have no movement. The offense is terrible. Will Goff be rattled? He just signed this huge contract. Tons of pressure on him. Their defense is going to be very, very good. Their defense is going to be good. The Rams defense and the Panthers defense. Now, the Panthers defense is very old. It's going to deteriorate through the year, but it's going to be good early. I'm interested in this under Rams-Panthers. It's been at 50. It hasn't moved, but Heritage just moved down to 49.5. And the Panthers taking money. This was opened at 2.5. I believe there was 3s on the board at one point. Were there? Let me quickly do this. Yes, there were 3s on the board for a while. But we're going back from May 15th. There were 3s from May 15th till September 2nd. Wow, and that's by looking at the line history at sportsbookreview.com. Wild. Nutflush Allen says, good part is wife is usually watching with me. Well, you have a spectacular wife. Kristen is so incredible. You did a very, very good job marrying her and keeping her happy. Great, great work. Richie says, Dolphins always win early, Miami early season. Heat and Coke doesn't work well for visiting teams. I hear that. Robert Gilmore says, Todd is fine. Rams will be fine. It's Cam Newton should be worried about. Look, I want to stay off this game. Jason Kelly says, Gurley is fine. Arthritis is curable. If you guys trust Gurley's knee, because I'm going to take this under 10.5. It's juiced to -140 in my book for win total for the Rams. I'm going to jump on that. I just haven't done that yet. And the under is an appealing look to me here. These defenses are so good. And we're getting 50? What do you guys think of the under in this game? I'm very interested in the under, but I don't know if that's a pick 6 play. Now, Bengals Seahawks under. I like this spot. I need to hear what you guys think of this game because we're going to be joined in 5 minutes by the Boston Sauce to move over to NCAA football. Bengals Seahawks under. A-Rod says all the marbles on Rodgers. I want to take this under. I do not think the Bengals are going to be scoring much. I do not have faith in these Bengals, and I just think the Seahawks run the ball down their throat. Clowney addition helps. Since he's not going to have A.J. Green, Dalton's terrible. It's going to be Mixon running behind a bad O-line. Jason Kelly says, just kidding, not curable. But he does have the best docs in the world. He's good. Ron Crawford for his Seattle for his survivor play. Not applicable, says Seahawks all day. Rich G says arthritis is curable. Isn't curable, it's manageable. It's only going to get worse. Shell Dog says Newton will be fine. I want the under. Tell me what you guys think. We have King Art and Trot Wham on Seattle minus 9.5. You know what? I had a guy reach out to me today, and this is not Gas Station Sushi. We know that Gas Station Sushi likes Bengals on the money line. I had a guy reach out to me today up from Canada saying, I'm taking the Bengals on the money line, which is shocking to me. Nutflash Allen says, I think most quarterbacks that sign those huge contracts more than not feel the squeeze for the first 2 weeks. Jeff Joseph says, is this the best time of year or what? Jeff Joseph, the best time of year is Breeders' Cup, baby. We both know that. Santa Anita Breeders' Cup first couple days in November. Juan Wee says, damn, I went trigger happy, burned all my picks. Should have known Low Bag Familia was going to break the games down. Yeah. Juan Ruiz, man, I enjoyed your company so much in Miami. You are a great, great guy. I'm not getting any help on the under in this Bengals Seahawks game. Can you please chime in? Colts Chargers. I want the Colts plus 6.5. Do I like it enough to make it a play? And is it still at 6.5? Because I expect the money to come in on the Colts and make it down to 6. But yes, it's at 6 at Heritage. I would like to see if Heritage actually moved that from 6.5 to 6. Let me go over to Heritage. They did. Wow, the Colts even got to 7. Wow. Okay, so they switched that to 6 this morning. Wow, very, very. Viper MB's got all his plays in. And Ski Profit leaning over in this one. Okay, thank you. All right, I like the Colts at plus 6.5. The Niners-Buccaneers game scares me very much. At first, I'd like the over, but it's another 100-degree situation. I'd be very interested to hear about what Ragu thinks about the Buccaneers in this spot being from, well, he's living in Orlando in that area. I'd love to hear what he thinks about the Buccaneers. The Niners got beaten up by the Bucs last year. The Niners front seven is going to be nasty. Their defense is going to be better than everybody expects it to be. Bosa and Ford coming off the edge is dangerous. Bosa says he's ready to go week 1. We'll see. Sean Childress says, I like the Colts money line too. Well, that's a big balls play, Sean. I'm nervous about the Buccaneers, Arians, and Todd Bowles back. Getting Todd Bowles back is a big deal. I think he'll help, but that defense looks terrible. I think the Lions have to be a play. A-Rod says Seattle never blow anyone out. I think the Lions have to be a play against the Cardinals. If you just look at the lineups, it's just so much stronger with the Lions. And Murray better be making fast reads. I saw that Big Ragu's wife, Kelly, thinks that the Cardinals are the play. And, man, I enjoyed hanging out with her very, very much. But her look on the card looks like I'll be fading Kelly week 1 because I got to take the Lions. Now, the Lions bet was a sure thing for me 2 months ago. I watched Patricia in the preseason, and the team looks terrible. Also, Patricia, defensive coordinators in New England get rewarded for Belichick's work. Belichick's the real defensive coordinator over there. King Art says different Seattle team this year. Shell Dog says Buccaneers. Drinking Hand says Seattle 31, Cincy 10. I like that. I think that's. I don't like hearing that Ski kind of likes the over there because I like the under in that game. Niners, Buccaneers, Lions, and then Giants, Cowboys under. I don't see how this game doesn't go under. Giants, Cowboys under. It's been a 45.5. There's a 46 on the board. There's just going to be so much running. I think, and Jeff Joseph says, yes, Jimmy, I stand corrected. Breeders' Cup is king. I like the under. The Patriots, the Steelers-Patriots going to be a high-scoring game? I once thought so, but after more look into it, I don't think they're going to want to show their cards. I mean, these guys could meet in the playoffs, but I am interested in the Steelers plus 6. That would be me going right up against Fat Fist. Steelers plus 6, and that's not only available Bovada now. Now 5.5's on the board. That injury to Andrews may hurt them, but, the Patriots are next man up type of spot. And then Jeff Joseph talking about Broncos-Raiders under. I'm going to have to take more time on these Monday night games. I need more time on the Monday night games. I really just have the Sunday stuff up right now. And that's it. Ron Crawford liking Atlanta +4. That's not available anymore. Pittsburgh +5. He could get a 5.5. And Baltimore -6. That's not available anymore. Got to get on these lines early. Ron Crawford also taking Bears -3. Nutflush Allen says, I think if we think Gurley is fine, that would equal chewing up the clock. Rams are not high-flying offenses they were a few years ago. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a move on the under in Redskins Eagles for sure. I may make a move on the under in Rams Panthers. I'm close to making a move on the under in Bengals Seahawks. I like the Colts +6.5. I like the Lions. And I like the Giants Cowboys under. So that is one too many plays, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plays. And I'm already in with the Ravens, so I have to cut one of those plays. That's my plan of action right now. I think I'm going to stick to the NFL with my pick 6 contest. But let's bring in my guys, the boss and the sauce. I can't wait to be doing a show with you guys for the next few months. What a treat it is. How are you guys doing? Let's start with DJ Big Boss. Big Boss, how are you doing on this Wednesday evening?
I'm powered up, Jimmy, and I didn't even get a chance to refuel my cup. I got an empty cup right now, but it's all good. I'm a little bombarded with a lot of information on these college football in these past 2 weeks. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Thanks to Drew Martin. Thanks to Ian Cameron. Thanks to Jimmy. Thanks to Big Ragu. Thanks to all of y'all out there. But yeah, it's been busy for me, Jimmy. What's up with the pick 6 though? You rocking and rolling. I hear you over there on the NFL going through your spiel. So now it's time for us to show you a little something about the college.
Yes, now it is time for you guys to show me a little something about the college. What a treat it's going to be to work with you guys every Wednesday night. Let's bring in the sauce in the house. Big Ragu, how you doing on this Wednesday evening?
Excited, ready to rock and roll, brother.
Oh, man, what a treat. What a treat. I had so much fun with you guys, man, in Miami. The more I can have you guys in my life, the better. Let's go over to Big Ragu. He's got his pick 6 card up right now. Big Ragu, DJ Big Boss, why don't you guys start firing out plays that you like, spots on the card that you like. Let's start with you, Big Ragu. We're going to go Big Ragu, Big Boss, Big Ragu, Big Boss. And I'll just help kind of move the show along. But you guys take it over. Big Ragu, what's the first spot on the card that you're liking?
I'm going to look at a shitty game that I like. Wake versus Rice. Okay, so Rice last week played a pretty good game against an Army squad, which they had all season to prepare for that. And I think don't be fooled by that game because they had a lot of time, like I said, to prepare. Now they're gonna go up against a Wake team and basically had a whole different look on offense. They're an up-tempo team. They're a team that likes to run a high-speed tempo, a lot of passing, a lot of different looks. 579 yards worth of offense. Last week, the only pass that Wake looked or that Rice looked at was 62 yards of passing. That was it. So I like Wake Forest here, laying the big number, 18.5. Is a huge number, but a quarterback rating of 165 versus 87 on the other side. Take Wake Forest to get the job done. They win by at least 24 in this game.
Big Ragu has Wake Forest to win by at least 24. You know, it's very interesting because we already heard Big Boss liking Wake Forest first half. I hear both you guys on the same thing. I think that's got to be a double up spot. We have Big Ragu getting it started by taking Wake Forest. Wake Forest will be one of his contest picks. I like it. Ron Crawford saying Rice is garbage.
I want to say something.
Oh, say what, Ragu?
I want to say something about the pick 6. So for those of you in the chat don't know, when we were down in Miami, we got in the pick 6 contest, and we had 5 out of 6 at Gulfstream, sitting on $1.3 million with one race to go with 4 horses in the race. and we come up this much short. But this pick six, guaranteed winner.
I love it, man. I love it. Viper MB on Wake already. King Art on Wake already. You know, Ragu, I know we're going to get another chance at that pick six sometime at Gulfstream. 1.3 million was up for grabs, and we missed it by the final race. But what a ride it was being on it. Oh, man, it was such an enjoyable day. All right, we got Wake Forest being backed by Big Ragu. That's his first look on this card. Let's move over to DJ Big Boss. What are you looking at?
Hey, yo, Jimmy, you know, normally I try to titty dance around the tough games and try to find my spots in simple places. But I'm going to just jump right in the fire right here because sometimes that's just the best thing to do. So I'm jumping right into the fire right here in the Clemson Texas A&M game. Now, looking at Clemson last week, now I was on Clemson. They had a decent win, but I seen a lot of things need to be fixed in that program. They still making some small mistakes. They missed a couple snaps. You know, the quarterback, you know, Heisman Trophy winner and all, the numbers look nice and everything, but he wasn't really that impressive to me. He more like coordinates the offense and makes a throw or two when he have to. But Georgia Tech wasn't really putting him to the test to make him do some exciting things. So I'm still not impressed yet. So I'm still down on him. The running back play over there was decent. We were looking at more of a passing team, and it looks like these guys like to run the ball sometimes like wide out, you know, kind of like the new school, kind of like sweep they do to the outside, just outside the tackle. So they like to do that with a lot of motion, a lot. They definitely a run first, pass second team. O-line looked decent. D-line, I was impressed by Clemson defense more than anything. But against Georgia Tech, I seen them a little weak at times, especially considering that Georgia Tech was basically stumbling over their feet to survive in that game, and they still made a few plays and put those 2 touchdowns up. Now, the linebackers and the DB core over there are solid, you know, D1 type players, you know. So that was my take, Clemson. So then I had to study a little more on Texas A&M. Now, the Texas A&M quarterback, he's a great leader. The dude's a solid performer. He's a smart guy. He protects the ball. He got a nice offensive line in front of him, and they're running the ball with Corbin. Corbin's a real threat, especially to a team like Clemson. This is when guys like Corbin make their money because they perform against those type of teams. So I'm high on Corbin in this one. The wide receiver core, I like the size differential. They got some long guys. They got some small, quick guys. So, you know, they can catch some slants across the middle. They can go deep as well. And organized by a nice quarterback. Offense looks great overall. Now, the defensive line, kind of average, but their size appropriate for the SEC. Linebacker, same deal, but also the size appropriate. Now, defensive backs, they didn't play no chase and tackle against the team they played last week, but they didn't have much competition last week. But after looking at the game, the 2 teams overall in this game right here, you know, you got the coach over here. I can't even pull it up off my name. The guy from Florida State that Ragu hates
Jimbo.
over here at Texas A&M, and he's going against Dabo. You know, that's worth competition right there. So when you do that, you got to pull out your X's and O's. Can't do nothing stupid. You got to protect the ball. That's what these coaches coach right here. So in most of Clemson's big games, they're usually low-scoring games. Not to mention, this team lost to Clemson last year, 26-28, and it's the more experienced team with the coach right here. So I really like Texas A&M with the points, but I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I could be wrong. But where I see opportunity, whatever you want to call it, is on the under right here. And funny, it opened at 61 and it's moved up to 64. But I feel that, hey, blow back the top. I'm going to slide and lean back in the seat and catch that under on this game right here, under 64.
Under 64 in this marquee matchup Texas A&M, Clemson. This opened at 59 and has been bet up and up and up. And I guess it's being bet up to a spot where Big Boss wants to lock in the under 64. Also, Clemson opening at minus 20, now down to 17, minus 17. So a 3-point move towards Texas A&M. I'm writing it in right now. We got Texas A&M under from our guy DJ Big Boss. Ragu, what's next on your card?
I want to go head to head with him in that game, but I'm going to hold off just for one moment. I'm gonna look at a game that doesn't make any sense. Vanderbilt and Purdue. Two teams coming off a loss. And there's some really key, interesting factors in this game that I kind of like. So you got the Purdue team that kind of took the L against Nevada, which credit to our guy DJ Big Boss had that money line plus the 11, if I remember correctly. Oh no, that was a Hawaii game, but he did call the winner Nevada versus Purdue. So ups to our guy DJ Big Boss on that one. So this week though, you got Vanderbilt coming into Purdue. You got a running back that ran at Purdue when he was with Illinois. He's a senior now at Vanderbilt. His name is Keyshawn Vaughn. He ran for 180 yards and 11.3 per carry at that same stadium as a freshman with Illinois. Now he's with Vandy. Now last week, Vandy got off to a pretty bad start offensively. They did lose to Georgia, 30-6, but Georgia kind of ran up the score early, 20-0 or 21-0, and they kind of held down a little bit. They finished up 30-6. But I like the look here that Vandy did with the adjustments against a tough Georgia squad, and I didn't like the Purdue defense. Now, Vandy is not Georgia, obviously, but with the kid coming back for the quarterback as a Ball State transfer, Riley Neal, it's almost like a homecoming game for him. So you got two angles on this game. You got the Ball State quarterback coming back to play in Indiana, and you also have running back going up against a Purdue that's kind of weak against the run. So I like 7 points. You follow the market move. It was opened up at 9, down to 7. I'm going to run with Vandy plus the 7 points at Purdue.
Vandy plus the 7 points. That's an interesting breakdown. You can also get 7.5 at 5 dimes, but it's juiced quite a bit. So maybe you'd prefer the 7. And what's it? I could understand just taking the 7 and not paying the juice. Vandy is Big Ragu's second spot. Vandy plus the points. So Big Ragu liking Wake Forest and Vandy plus the points. DJ Big Boss on the Texas A&M Clemson under 64. Very exciting stuff. Big Boss, what's next, my guy?
Okay, the next one I had a chance to actually break down and take some time with was this Ole Miss and Arkansas game. Now, this is another one of those battle of the bum type games right here. They both sit on the bottom end of the SEC. I think I'm going to feed off of those bottom feeders this year, even though my man Teddy says stay away from them. But in this game right here, the most impressive thing between both two squads is that Ole Miss is returning 10 on defense. And then last week in their game against Memphis, where they were supposed to, score all kinds of points, I think Big Ragu had the under 65 in the game, and these guys came out and held them 15-10. And Memphis goes running off the field like they really did something good. But, defense wins games, and this one, I really like Ole Miss to win, but on the offensive side of the ball, they're still gathering themselves, and that happens with some teams. The offense just can't always come together at the same time. That's why some coaches only have like 5 or 6 plays they run in week 1 because, you have to kind of bring it together and adjust to it and stuff. So hopefully they adjust this week, but I'm not going to count on them adjusting the offense. And, in the Boston Assault Show, we already did a breakdown on Arkansas early in the season. We already determined that they just ain't got their thing together for some odd reason. They showed the same thing last they barely beat Portland State. Portland State gave them a run for their money. They were missing tackles, doing all the type of immature stuff they're not supposed to do. And in this one right here, I definitely gotta say defense wins games and take the under again. In the name of my guy Don Ricci, the under. I'm gonna take the under again right here. And this opened at 55 that I seen, and moved all the way down to 50 right now. But I still like under. This is gonna be like a 30 to 10, 30 to 17, or not even that. So this is gonna be way under. This is gonna be my number one pick right here for the pick six. Week 2 of college football, won the NFL, lock that in, hold me to it. Let's get this bread.
Your 2-unit play in the pick six contest. Could you repeat it one more time? What is your 2-unit play in the pick six contest?
Wow, 2 units.
Hit us. Wait, Big Boss, I need it. We need it for a clip, man. I need it for a clip. Your 2-unit play in the big pick six contest is what, Big Boss?
Hey, the under is 50. The prize is $50K. 50 and 50. That's Mando under in the Ole Miss Arkansas game.
Ole Miss Arkansas under 50. Not afraid of the market move. It's Mando. Arkansas Ole Miss under 50. Man. All right, we're rolling. And we have Big Boss's 2-unit play right there. Wow. Beautiful. All right, Ragu, the sauce. What's next on your card?
This is like a ping pong game with my man over here. You're going to put 2 units on a catfish and hush puppies game. That's all right.
I like catfish and puppies.
All right, so I'm going to go back to the game that DJ talked about, the Clemson A&M game. I'm going to take my time with this a little bit because I got some notes here. So anyways, you got the national champs that absolutely dismantled a really tough Alabama squad last year, correct? Now this year, last year they played the game in College Station 28-26. Close game, Jimbo's first year. Now they come back to Death Valley, and they travel over there, and they bring in a pretty decent squad, A&M does, but they're really, really young on defense. They got some issues. We get back a Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback. You also get back Travis Etienne, this guy's fire in the backfield, tailback with a lot of speed. The key matchup here, obviously, is going to be the Clemson offense versus the A&M defense, whether they can hold them down. Now, there have been some concerns on the defensive side for Clemson because they did lose a lot of key players on that front line to the NFL draft. But they're really strong at linebacker and secondary. And they were pretty deep as far as talent goes on the D-line, but not a lot of playing experience. So what I read about in the coaching scouts is that they really like these kids in front, and they think that the linebackers and the secondary can support that without issue. So I know it's a contrarian play for the line move. The line's dropping. I know my man DJ is going contrarian on the total. I'm going to go contrarian here and call out Clemson to take care of business at home in a big fashion. Don't worry about covering the number. Lay the 17, whatever it is, and collect the money. They get the job done easy.
Big Ragu saying Clemson gets the job done easy. Both guys going against market moves. That's exciting, man. That's exciting. You have to be an expert to be able to pull that off. So we have Ragu on Wake Forest, Vandy, Clemson, Big Boss on the Texas A&M, Clemson under 64, and Arkansas Ole Miss 2-unit play under 50 and a half. All right, we are rolling. Big Boss, what's next on your card?
So I got a bunch of leans for you, Jimmy. I'll do them one at a time. I give a little brief something about them. But, when you talk a pick six is something you hit from the gut. You put your brain together, but it got a lot to do with the gut. And when I seen this game on the board, when I looked at it Sunday, it hit me in the gut. And I said, you know what?
All right.
Hawaii's going to win this game on the island. And I opened at -5, and it went up to -7. And I like Hawaii as a lean right now, but I haven't really broke down much tape. I did get a chance to watch the Hawaii game, but I haven't really broke down Oregon State. But for now, my gut feeling says take Hawaii.
Take Hawaii on the island. I know a lot of people backing that. We heard an interesting counterpoint from Teddy Covers on our morning show today. Boss, what do you think about backing this over? Teddy Covers high on this over. Knows that Oregon State's a bad football team, but Hawaii's not going to get stops. What do you think of this over? It opened at 79. It's now down to 78. Big Boss, you thinking about this total?
Being over here on the West Coast, Jimmy, I've stayed awake for some of these late Hawaii games with all the scores and stuff. And most of the time, I ain't got time for that, Jimmy. I'm not staying up to wait to go over 74 to 2, 3 in the morning and watching these passes go back and forth. I'm going right to sleep on that, especially if Notre Dame got a win for the week. I'm done. So I can't really sit around for the total in that one. But the side right here, I'm going to take Hawaii. I'm going to go to sleep and wake up to some cash.
Yeah, no, I hear that. This was available. Our Sue's 387, our low bagger on the ground in Hawaii, loved Hawaii at the 5, told us to get all over Hawaii at the 5. It's now up to 6.5 or 7 at 5 times. Ragu, what's the next game that you're looking at?
I'm coming off a game that I had at Purnell last week that I didn't really play it, but I had a lean on it. So I really can't call an L, but I call an L for a lean that I didn't play. And it's coming out of that Army and Rice game. I'm going to talk about Army and Michigan here. Okay, so this game's going to correlate to the side with the total, I believe. So Army come out real slow against a Rice team that did have all season to kind of put a game plan together, and they kind of closed the gaps in the lanes on them, so they weren't real productive, moving the ball against them. But now you also got Michigan that's coming off one game, and I don't think they're really going to have time to prepare as far as defensively speaking. They probably have better athletes and a little faster athletes, bigger athletes, but I think this game is going to be determined on pace and tempo of the game. So Army's catching 23, 22 points here, and the total's 48, which is a low number, down to 46. So I know those are dangerous numbers to be playing with against the total, but if you lean under, you have to lean Army, correct? So I'm a little scared of that number to lay under the 46, but I think Army could conduct enough plays to kind of keep the tempo of the game down. And I do like the Army plus the 22 points here.
Wow, Army plus the 22. There are 23s on the board too at BetOnline and Michigan. So the total has gone from 49 to 47. You talk about the pace slowing down. Would you make a move on this under, Ragu?
I don't like laying under 50 points in a college game normally, But I mean, if this has a look of an under, it sure does. But the only problem I have with it, if I'm wrong on the game, it can get ugly pretty quick. So it could be another one of those like 32-10 type of games, or it could be, like a 19-24 game at the same time. I don't see it flying over the total, but it might get close to that number.
Very interesting and smart to not take totals that are under 50 in college football. We got Trot Wham loving Big Boss's Hawaii play, says Hawaii is my best play. Black Rogue saying everybody on Army. David Stanton saying Michigan don't know the meaning of the word cover. And Rob Stevenson, my guy Rob Stevenson, agreeing with that statement. DJ Big Boss saying not impressed with Army. I mean, how could you? I mean, Rice, that was just an ugly football game against Rice. Big Boss, what's another game that you are thinking about making a move for the Pick Six $50,000 contest?
I'm gonna jump right back in the fire, and I'm gonna go right back from the gut, and I'm gonna jump right to this LSU and Texas game. It's some weird stuff going on in this game. I just got a weird feeling And we got to watch Texas fans. You know, Texas fans, they can move lines and all kinds of stuff. And the line opened at 6.5, went down to 4.5. Now, the sharps are saying, most of the sharps are saying LSU may have a shot at winning the SEC this year. So I don't understand how they could be so close to this Texas team who underperformed just a little bit in the first week playing Texas State. So my gut tells me LSU may you know, they're not really blowing teams out 50 something, whatever, but definitely like 30 to 10 or something like that. So I'm taking LSU minus the 6.5. Yeah, opened at 4.5. Sorry, opened at 4.5. Now it's up to 6.5. Taking minus 6.5.
Backing LSU. I mean, we've seen it over and over and over again. You know, Cappers blindly backing Herman as a home dog. But LSU may be too much. Minus 6.5. Let me write that in. We got our DJ Big Boss making a move, possibly making a move on LSU minus the 6.5. Ragu adding the Army to cover at plus 22. Big Ragu, what's another spot on the card that you're looking at?
I haven't made a decision on this one yet, but I want to know what the hell is going on with this game right here. Maryland's at home taking on Syracuse. Now I got Syracuse pretty highly rated unless something happened between last week and this week. The game opened up Syracuse 2.5, and now they're catching 2 on the road at Maryland. So I really got to look into this game because, I mean, I know they're not looking past Maryland because they have Clemson next week. So maybe that's what they're trying to factor in, but I really don't know. I'm going to need some help with this one, maybe from the chat and from yourself. What do you think about this Maryland-Clemson game, Maryland and Syracuse game?
We've seen this giant market move towards Maryland. I mean, this opened up Syracuse as 3-point favorites on the road. And now all of a sudden 2s are on the board now for Maryland. I mean, that's a shocking move. I mean, a 5-point swing in college football is not necessarily shocking, you know, when there's a big favorite or a big dog in a situation. But when a favorite becomes a dog, that's when I find this quite shocking. Even Pinnacle opened up Syracuse at minus 2.5, and now Syracuse is at plus 1.5. Syracuse was at plus 2.5 last night. So money came back in on Syracuse once they got to plus 2.5. DJ Big Boss, Syracuse, Maryland. What do you think here?
Talk to me. I talk back. I'm in total agreement with Big Ragu on this one. Kind of shocked me that the line was so low with Syracuse. The line movement even shocked me more. But it's one of those games, it makes me think like maybe they know something I don't know. And in today's media and all that stuff, we may hear just before the game somebody got suspended or something retarded. But I'm high on Syracuse too. I think they're going to be a really good team this year. They were. I don't understand how they could weigh that out with Syracuse performance last year. But like maybe they know something in there. I don't know, but I'm off that one. I'd like to know from the chat and everybody else as well. I'm just like Big right on this one.
Rob, Steven.
Let me say one thing.
Oh, yeah, jump in.
Well, normally, if this was a college basketball game and you had a ranked team going into unranked team's house and the unranked team was favored, that's usually an automatic play for me. That's a telltale sign. So I know football is a little different, but I smell something wrong with this game. So I just caught it looking on the Sbr odds in here, and when I seen it early in the evening, I was going to ask you about it. So see if you heard anything about this game because I was really intrigued by it.
Yeah, I mean, when there's unknowns in a college game and big market moves, I just get very, very concerned, and I stay off. I just stay off at this point, but we'll have to wait and get more information. Dark-Eyed Horse says Syracuse defense. Dark-Eyed Horse liking Syracuse in this spot. And yes, Black Rogue, you can still enter the contest. I just put the link down there. And Ron Crawford says, take the Qs. Connor Longo says, Qs will pull through. Jake Bell says, Maryland. Says, Josh Jackson going to keep balling. Ron Crawford saying, Syracuse is not Howard. Rochelle Dog saying, Maryland. OG Wham saying, Maryland could be in a great spot. Ron Crawford says, remember, Syracuse has Clemson on deck. Lot of difficult stuff here in this spot. Lot of back and forths here. What do you think, Rigu? You going to make a move or are you going to wait?
Well, that's the only thing that concerns me because when I looked at the schedule, I went back and I seen Clemson was up next. So I'm thinking the odds makers have got that figured in somehow, whether it's a little inside info coming back. I don't think it's anything to do with preparation. I think it's just to do with a look right here. So, I mean, I would almost want to take my chances, but I have to go look at that Maryland squad and see what's really going on there. Because I know Syracuse is a quality football team. They took Clemson down to the wire 2 years in a row, and I got them. I'm hoping they matching up with them again pretty close. So we'll see.
Brandon Lugo says Qs may also want this game bad, knowing Clemson on deck. Trawwam says they know something. With Maryland now being the favorite, they know something. Big Boss, what's another game you got your eye on?
I got my eye on this one right here, but I need some chat participation to help me out in here. Like, do you hear what I hear? Do you see what I see in this San Diego State at UCLA game? Now, UCLA, granted they lost, but there were some things that I seen during the game that looked promising for UCLA. Some of the new motions they had with some run stuff was some Chip Kelly exclusive stuff. Now it looked as though the team just haven't really got it down packed all the way, but it's definitely something I expect another boost from UCLA late in the season. But this game right here, they're playing this San Diego State team who's just trying to breed linemen and running backs and defensive players to, I don't understand, 6-0 last week. And if they were struggling that hard to score last week, I don't see what makes them think they're going to play a team like UCLA who's coached well, and they're going out of conference to do this. So I really like UCLA minus the 7.5. But I also like the under, but like Ragu said, that under is set kind of low right now. But do y'all see what I see? Y'all hear what I hear?
I think that it's going to be much, much, much easier for UCLA back at home. I think it's going to be much, much easier against San Diego State than it was facing Cincinnati. In fact, I need to put more time in it, but I agree with you on this UCLA look. I think Chip is going to be able to show the home fans what he's been working on. I mean, that Cincinnati Bearcat defense is difficult, and the San Diego State defense, I mean, I know this total's low at 45.5. I'd love to hear what Ragu thinks about this UCLA spot, because this is actually a move that I was thinking of making myself. Ragu, what do you think of UCLA at home after that tough loss to Cincinnati?
Yeah, UCLA, the Pac-12, in my book, I try to shy off that conference because, to be honest with you, that's probably one of my worst conferences. I don't have the best luck with that for some reason, but that seems like an awful low number there. And it's probably like the perfect opportunity for them to get back on track and maybe try to open their game up a little bit. I don't know what their problem is, but it is a low number, and I would definitely shy away. And I'm not on the side for sure, so I'm not much help on that game there. But I'll tell you what game I'm looking at. That you bring it up here. It was the Iowa game at Rutgers. Now I know Rutgers is a pretty much a shit show, and I like Iowa's quarterback. They play a pretty much a pro style offense. And the total's 49, and that might be a good look in that game. Maybe catch an over. I think Syracuse might score maybe 2 touchdowns, and I think Iowa's good for at least 4 or 5 touchdowns. So that should be a pretty easy look over.
Iowa Rutgers, looking at the over with Iowa. This total opened at 50. It's now down to 49. Iowa opened at minus 21.5, is now at 20.5. Big Boss, did you get a chance to put something in your cup, man? Did we get a little something in your cup?
Nah, man, I'm gonna wait till after the show. The night's still young out here, Jimmy. I got time to hit the stove, so it ain't no big deal. But I had me a nice glass of grapes, good for the heart, and we kept these games. But a little bit more about that UCLA game is we already know for a fact San Diego State try to culture themselves kind of like Stanford. They're a running, tough, defensive, big lineman type team. Now, what I've seen from the UCLA game is that Chip is starting on the running side of the ball in his offense. He's trying to develop a run game. He's using all type of motions and stuff to do this. So they're going to be run first, and they had good defense as well. They may have lost the game eventually, but for the most part, defense played pretty tight. Not only in the front seven, but also in the secondary. So I think that under might be live. Like, what I usually do is I call Noli. I say, Noli, come over here, man. We got to talk about some things. And I think I'm going to have to do that and talk about this. Because sometimes if it's set that low, it's because it's really going to be low.
Interesting. There's so many games to look at on this giant Saturday card. So many games to look at. Our guy, Chef Pat, can cook. Liking Western Kentucky. Rob Stevenson's insight and opinions on Ohio State, Cincinnati. And that is one big, big game coming up this Saturday. Ohio State, Cincinnati. Bearcats are going to have a tougher time. I mean, that's easily said. But one thing I want this show to also be about is about the joy of us capping together. I know we got to hammer these games, but we also need good times. We also need to laugh, and I think we need to step that up a little bit. Might help me hammering this JMO to get the party started. While I hammer this JMO,
let's go.
Woo! Do it for the show, Jimmy.
For the show. It's for the people.
Do it for the show.
For the people. Ragu. Cincinnati, Ohio State. Ohio State opening at minus 17, now minus 16 or 16.5. A bookmaker minus 15.5 at Pinnacle. Give us a look here. What do you think? Can the Bearcats give Ohio State a tough test?
That's a pretty good squad, the Bearcats. They're up to the task. Got many games. They're usually the team that rises to the occasion. They're well coached, well disciplined, and I know they come out of a different conference. And I think they can play because that's kind of like an in-state battle, correct? Cincinnati versus Columbus. A lot of kids probably played the same high school ball together, just like, anything down in Texas or Florida, any other kind of state. So I know defensively speaking, they're a tough squad. And that's probably going to be a game that, after Ohio State's first slower start, they're probably trying to make a statement there. That might be a good look to the under, basically, that game. Look for that game to be battled out in the trenches, and I like the under look more than the side. I think 17 might be too many points, but then again, it's only 3 scores, so I don't know if Cincinnati has the firepower to keep up. They definitely have the defensive players to maybe slow the game down a little bit.
The under is an interesting look there for sure. Cincinnati Buckeyes. It opened at 54. It's now 54.5 at Pinnacle, 53.5 everywhere else. Let me ask you, Ragu, you've been in the game for a long time. Do you look at Pinnacle as the sharpest book? When you see Pinnacle, when I see Pinnacle at 54.5, all the other books at 53.5, I think, wow, I could advantage bet the over right now. Now. And I know a lot of cappers that are just purely advantage betting off of Pinnacle and Bookmaker. You've been in the game longer than me. Do I have too much do I put too much stake in what Pinnacle's doing on these market moves?
They're basically, a lot of people follow their suit. So so if you're sharp, all the sharp money goes to Pinnacle, I would say, because number one, they got the lower juice. And at the same time, their numbers are usually pretty more in tune with where the market's really going to go. So basically, that's a good look. If you're a market player, that I would definitely follow the lines at Pinnacle.
Yeah, I mean it's and I know cappers who just do that and hit over 56% advantage betting. And the advantage bet right here would be you're looking at this, and I know we're talking about the under, but we're looking at Pinnacle at 54.5 and other books at 53.5. You see, you wager at 53.5 minus 110, and you just hammer that to the over. Just hammer that to the over. There are some big games here that we haven't talked about. One thing that you guys were capping was the big holy war, Utah, Northern Illinois, or is Utah, Northern Illinois here, but we talked about that Utah BYU. We banged that game heavy. Utah has gone from 18.5 to 21.5. Teddy Covers on today's show said that what happens is Utah wears these teams down. They wear these teams down, these weak squads, weak opponents. Is that something here you think could happen? Because this market's gone from 18.5 to 21.5. Utah, Northern Illinois. Big Boss, you know Utah well. What do you think of this spot here against Northern Illinois?
It's a stay off for me, Jimmy. I don't trust Utah, and I'm probably wrong to tell you the truth, but I just don't trust that team. The Pac-12 is too unpredictable. Whenever they start putting all their eggs in one basket to be the leader of the Pac-12 or to win the Pac-12, it just becomes a total mess. I'm not going to hop on it just because it's the popular thing to do. Let that team play that game and go on to the next one for me.
What do you guys think of this 55.5 point spread with Alabama, New Mexico State? Ragu, when you see a team laying 55.5, does that mean stay away?
I don't stay away. I don't look. I run away when I see a game like that.
I get it. That makes sense. Ragu, we got to talk about some of the teams that you know inside and out. Let's talk Florida State right now against Louisiana Monroe. Florida State laying 21, this total at 63.5. Ragu, what do we do with these Seminoles, and what do we do here with them this week?
I think the Seminoles got to figure out what they got to do with the Seminoles. They got off to a pretty fast start with Bryles. They brought him in, and I liked what I seen very early in that squad. The thing that surprised me most about the Noles is their inability to stop the run against Boise. I don't know if it was just Boise beating them to the punch on the offensive line, but there's definitely got to be some adjustments made on the defensive side. And then offensively speaking, I don't know what happened to them after the second quarter. So there's a lot of question marks there. Got a first-year offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator that, got some question marks there. So, I mean, as far as them competing with Louisiana and Monroe, that's going to be a tough look for me to just kind of put a number on that game. So I'm going to have to take a wait-and-see approach with FSU right now.
There are a couple more games I want to talk about on this college card, but I do want to lighten it up a little bit. So I think I would like to hear both Big Boss and Ragu's favorite woman of our 6 contestants. We are going to be bringing one of them back to sit beside me, not uncomfortably close, but sit beside me for an interview. Rafa, can we get the 6 women that I did the commercial with on deck? Here we go. So we have from the Dallas Cowboys, from the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, yeah, I'm in. She was our quarterback, and she's got those big titties. And I wish we could see her from the back, because goddamn. All right, those were the 6 right there, Ragu. Can you flash them one more time, just to make sure that Ragu gets a good look at all 6 of them? Let's get another look at these 6. Let's see what Ragu and the chat. Come on in on the chat. Ragu, tell us who you think is the one that should be sitting on my lap / beside me on one of these shows right now. Here we go, and there it is. Ragu, who you like?
It's gonna go one way for me, but I'll give you a breakdown on the team that I like. It's called the Pack. Bring the cheese, baby. Bring the Packer in.
Okay. We like the Packers. I gotta write this note down. We got Rafa giving the arms out there. All right, so from our guy Ragu liking the Packers, girl. DJ Big Boss, whom do you favor?
Uh, pick one, KC. That's Mando.
Okay, we got the Chiefs. The Chiefs girl coming from DJ Big Boss. We got the Chiefs girl coming. You know, she was the friendliest. She smiled the most. The Chiefs girl was the friendliest, and I have to give her that. Jake Bell says I'd back the Packer. Mally Mal says pack. Sean Schiller says damn Green Bay. Jonathan Moulton says oh Green Bay baby. Bookie Lover Q Creep. Whoa. King Art says have them turn around. Viper and beat Green Bay. Wow, it's all Green Bay. Demetrios Davos, my guy Demetrios, liking the Raiders. I'm telling you, the Raiders girl is fine. Lamont Williams is all business. He's Rutgers plus the points. This guy doesn't care.
Hey.
This guy doesn't care. This guy doesn't care. Ray Williams says, I say they're all winners. And I respect that very much. King Art wants a front and rear view. Jake Bell says Raider is cute. But wow, the Packers girl taking the lead. Sean Childress says Eagles, baby, but a lot of the Packers love. A lot of the Rasheem, my guy Rasheem coming in saying Packers hand down. All right, I need to talk about this Tennessee spot.
Jimmy.
I need to talk about this Tennessee spot, this BYU spot. Both teams look terrible, but at 3.5, I mean, how do we not take the Volunteers here? It opened at 3, it's now at 3.5. Ragu, do you have a look on this BYU Tennessee game?
Everybody's writing Tennessee off, number one. They're not as bad as they look on field. All right. BYU, we know they're an older group of guys, a couple years older. They can try to muscle you around, because of the age difference and whatnot. But Tennessee, they do have their issues. I'm thinking that Tennessee right here, it'd be a good bounce back spot for them.
It's got
I
to
like
be.
Tennessee in this game. Just on a look, just on a small look, but not nothing seriously. They're still an SEC team. They'll make their adjustments. Don't write Tennessee off just so quick.
I agree with that breakdown very, very much. A. Hilly says Tennessee -3. This is their season. Big Boss, do we pull the trigger on Tennessee? I mean, it's now 3.5, but do we pull the trigger on them?
Well, what I've seen, Jimmy, from watching the BYU game is that they're missing a lot of fundamentals of football. Tackling, wrapping up, taking care of the ball. I've seen a lot of flaws on BYU's side. I also seen kind of the same thing with Tennessee, but with Tennessee, it looked a little more like a team just having a bad first game, maybe just lack of preparation. Maybe the temperature and everything wasn't right for them. But like Big Ragu said, please don't write off Tennessee. And this BYU team, they've been struggling for a long time in the conferences the people they want to play. And they're nothing like the BYU we knew in the past. But I was hoping you bounce it back to me, Jimmy, because you talk relationship advice. I got plenty of relationship advice for y'all because as you see, I picked the most friendliest. I never met her, and I picked the most friendliest. And I'm gonna tell you, all y'all going after the Packers, you're wrong. You're walking into the store and you're going right after the chips. They got all kinds of other fine snacks just on the other side. You gotta have more preference, fellas. You gotta stand for something, or you'll fall for anything.
No, you make a nice point, but the Packers up close, she's a little shenasty up close. You got those big titties, and they do the work for her, and she understands that. She gets that. I mean, so up close, I believe in the Packers girl. I believe in her effort. She doesn't need to be my best friend. Just needs to try hard. So I understand why people are backing the Packers girl, but I do respect that you back the Chiefs girl. I tell you what, to me, the Patriots girl was the hottest up close. To me, the Patriots girl was the hottest up close.
She's going to take your wallet. She's going to take your wallet, buddy.
Oh, man. The
She's got
funniest
the
thing,
welcome committee.
for those of you guys who party in Vegas, the biggest rookie move, which has never happened to me, I don't let it. In Vegas, I know the street hookers want to rob me. I know that. So when the street hookers come up and grab my dick, I know they're going to try to rob me. But I've had buddies lose $900 rolls. I've had buddies, God, I don't get robbed. I don't get robbed. I don't need to knock on wood. I don't get robbed. I like this breakdown that we've had in NCAA football. Are you guys looking at anything in the National Football League? You guys have any NFL looks that you want to share with us before we put a bow on this show? Because I know, Jake Bell says, where's Maxwell Smart right now? We do need Maxwell Smart. For our help there. Drinking Hand says, when you take those shades off, that's what, one of the things that I wanted to, why I so badly want to work with these two guys and hang out with these two guys is just to soak up their life experience. And I have so much respect for both of you guys. But I know that you don't just cap NCAA football. You also cap NFL. Raghu, let's start with you. What's your best look on this NFL card?
We're talking Thursday night football, people. We're kicking off the 100-year NFL football with the oldest rivalry in football. Bears and the Packers, right? Speaking of Packers, that's why I chose the gal, man, because she's got the package to go with the pack, all right? So let's get down to the game. All right, so who's the biggest player in primetime football? Who is it?
Aaron Rodgers.
No doubt, Aaron Rodgers, okay? And last year when they played the Bears down 20 points at the half with a busted-up knee, what happened in that game?
Man, oh, God. One of the worst things that ever happened to me in gambling was, not worst thing, I mean, come on. But I went down, I had a whole trip around Vegas around a Monday nighter with this same matchup. Bears-Packers. This was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I was sitting there, Packers were huge favorites. I was like, how do I make money off this game? I realized Rodgers going to light these guys up. So I just took the over. I took the over because I thought the Packers would get this early lead. And the Bears, then they would just kind of let go a bit. Bears would be airing it out. Take the over. Aaron Rodgers breaks his shoulder on the third play of the game. And I was in a bad shape. There was no fucking steak. I got my girl a fucking blooming onion and told her to shut it. So I know that Rodgers can get hurt. And that's the big problem is that Rodgers is... he's vulnerable now.
Yeah, well, not tonight. Not tomorrow night. Listen, Fangio's gone. They still got Khalil Mack. We understand that. They're bringing Chuck Pagano, which is probably going to fit the bill good for them. On the other side of the ball, we got LaFleur taking over for the OC for the Packers. They're going to run some different packages, different looks. Probably like a more run-first type offense. So they're going to scheme a little bit. I just like Brett Favre, listen to me, Jesus Christ. I like a guy to get the job done plus the 3 points. And guess what? We're going to sprinkle some on the money line. That's how you get a pick six W, the first pick in your contest. Take the Packers plus the 3 points. Make it official.
Are you using them in your pick six contest?
Yes, I am.
Wow, there it is. Big Raghu.
2 units. 2 units. 2 units.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit, your 2-unit play. Oh, man. Big Boss, what's your look on the NFL card?
Oh, man, Jimmy, the NFL just makes me sneeze. But this is how I pick the NFL, Jimmy. I mean, NFL, if you're a kid that grew up loving football, NFL should really come natural to you. You know, you've been following these same teams for so many years, so many different players and everything. But my key to weeks 1 through 6 is this. You have to look at the competition and figure out which team is going to be 6-0, which teams are going to be 4-0. Usually at the 6-0 point, teams fall off. So you break down what teams do you think are going to be 4-0 for sure, okay? And then once you figure out what teams are going to be for sure 4-0, you look at which team is going to be the home team playing in the first week, looking at 4-0 for sure. So what I see as a good look for this week is might be Dallas. Dallas at home, all the media stuff that they did with Ezekiel is for a reason. But Giants have been the Dallas killers in the past few years, so that's kind of dangerous right there. But one that I think will be a surprise is Baker Mayfield and Cleveland starting off first game at home minus 5 points. I think I'm a back Cleveland. Maybe they go 4-0.
Why do you think there's been such a monster move towards the under 9.5 wins for Cleveland? I mean, that to me, I'm afraid to fade Cleveland. But if you gave me a free play, I'd be all over the Titans plus 5.5. I think that Baker will be strong early, but I don't trust this spot. I mean, there's been a huge move to that under 9.5 wins. I mean, who do you like in the North? You like the Browns to win that division, boss?
Look at what you got to look at what Cleveland's been doing over the past like 5 years. They've just been trying to find pieces here, pieces there. They went through the quarterback roles. They tightened up the defense, and they're moving in the right direction. And they have a loyal fan base, Jimmy. The dog pound is going to be in full effect at home week 1. They win that game. I mean, I want them to cover, but if they win, period, you might be looking at a 4-0 Cleveland Brown team.
I'll believe it when I see it, man. I'll believe it when I see it. Now, I am one of the few people that love the city of Cleveland. I enjoy going there. I would go down there to watch LeBron. I couldn't afford to watch LeBron in Toronto, but I could drive 5 hours south, get a hotel, and watch LeBron in Cleveland for cheaper than I could see him in Toronto. Drinking Hand says, drink, pass, Jimmy. Come on, man. I'm thirsty. Deal. I need to talk about Steelers-Patriots. Before we put a bow on this bad boy. And the reason is that I think the Steelers, have value at 6, and we lost that number. It's now 5.5. I think the Andrews loss is big. Ragu, tell me what you think about this Sunday nighter, because it's going to be all eyes on Big Ben and all eyes on Big Tom, and this bottle will be empty, but I'll have another one for that. Ragu, what do you think of that spot? Steelers, Patriots, Sunday nighter.
It's a classic matchup of the two Titans battling the ring. You got Tom Terrific against Big Ben. Now, Big Ben has cost me a lot of money over the years, and if I can get my hand around his neck, I'd choke his ass out right now. All right? But anyways, and then Tom, I learned to get on board with Tom because I used to go against him a lot too. And Patriots are a money team when it comes to laying points. So until they can prove that they've got the goods in Pittsburgh to deal with the guys in New England, I'm going to lay the points with the Brady bunch, lay the 6, and go to sleep.
That worries me. My guy, Jake Bell. Jake Bell, man. It's cool being doing a night show because a lot of these guys got to work in the day. Nice to be rolling my guy, Jake Bell. He says, I hope you took it by 6. Keith Kaplan saying Brady owns the Steelers. Boss, are you going to make a move on the Sunday nighter? Going to be all eyes. Oh, and speaking of Ben, he's cost me money too. More money in the futures market than he probably has in heads-up matches. He's cost me money in the futures market. Also, I had a girl hook me up with a beautiful Roethlisberger jersey right after the second, what do we call it? Sex assault? I guess let's call that. I told her right away, I was like, look, no, I can't rock this jersey after rape number 2. No, I just, I let her, it was a very kind gesture. But, she's not following Roethlisberger close enough. She doesn't understand the nightclub bathroom scandals of the now happily married religious man after a couple rapes. Big Boss, you got to move on the Sunday nighter?
Absolutely, Jimmy. That's where you end the pick 6 on Sunday night. Right there, following my man Big Ragu with the Patriots and going to sleep. That way, if I got 5 out of 6 right there, I got to throw a little hezzy and cash something or cash that pick 6.
Well, I'm gonna go against both of you guys. I do not think that Belichick opens up the playbook. I think he understands that this could be a playoff match in the future. I see this with no Andrews because of blood clots in the lungs. I think that the Patriots win. Now, I know you lose money not fading, but anything under a touchdown, you lose money going against Brady at Foxborough, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the Patriots plus the points in this spot without a doubt. Without a doubt. And I don't like trusting Tomlin in any situation, but I will be doing it here. Jake Bell saying, Pat's good at home, not great in September. Always playing with fire, fading the Pats. I know that. Sean Triller saying Pats have started out slow the past 2 years. Man, I'm going to go up against you guys. I'm gonna take the Steelers with the points. I assume. I'm not going to make it one of my pick six into my pick six contest. Man, what a treat it is to roll with you guys. This is what you're going to see every Wednesday night. And the only thing you're going to see from us is us having more and more fun, getting more and more comfortable with each other and breaking down winners and finding winners. Going back to what my guys are on right now. My guys, Big Ragu liking Wake Forest full game. We already heard Boss liking Wake Forest first half. We got Ragu on Vandy plus the points. We got Ragu on Clemson, Army plus 22. And there's some interest in the Iowa over. On the Big Boss side of things, we got Texas A&M, Clemson under 64. Arkansas, Ole Miss, a 2-unit play from the Boss under 50.5. Leaning Hawaii, leaning LSU minus 6.5. And we got more plays coming from our boy Trotwam. Trotwam in the house liking Hawaii as well. That's his 2-unit play. He's on the Chiefs minus 3.5. Bowling Green plus 24. Ohio plus 5.5. Seattle minus 9.5. And the USC over 45. That is our guy, Trotwam. Big Ragu, my guy. Do you have any last words for the great cappers that we have in the chat and putting a bow on our first Pick Six live show?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm going to take it down just a notch here. I want to show the love to the chat, the love to SBR, my guy, Big Boss, all the guys. You know who you are, the guys we parted Miami with. But at the same time, we'll be back each and every week. Get in this contest, have fun, and leche and los bookmakers.
Ooh, there we go. We got the Big Ragu. Leche, man. We should have put a bow on that, man. We should have had that as our last look for sure. Big Ragu dropping his leche, man. Oh, that was nice to see. Big Boss, you better do something special, man, because Ragu just dropped the leche on us, man. What do you got for final words, boss?
Oh, man, I got a few final words for you, Jimmy. One is, if a woman or whatever grabs you out in public, Jimmy, it's probably a man, bro. Run, okay? Do not tolerate that, okay? And the other thing is, tell KC, give me a call, man. I know some nice lunch spots or something we can go to. But also, as far as this is the Pick Six show, but don't forget about the DJ Big Boss monthly contest. You could double your cash. Take your same Pick Six picks, put them in the DJ Big Boss, double your opportunities, and have fun. And guess what? Leche, hey, los bookmakers.